This is the most common name in the roofing industry, integrity. And don't get me started on the roof lines and logo. The most typical common logo, the most typical common name. And I'm finally starting to understand why. Because there's not much integrity in this business. Typical startup stories, you work for a roofing company, they don't pay you, they do something shady, you go on your own because it's very easy to start a roofing company and you name it something like integrity to tell people that you are different. If it's your story, comment below if you started your business because they screwed you. I read all of my comments. It'll be very interesting to see how many people will comment because they started their business after someone did something wrong to them. Now, let's go inside and hear David's Dier story, how he started his company.
My name is David Dier. I'm the founder of Integrity Storm Experts in Restoration here in Houston, Texas. I'm proud to have a very good reputation. I'm proud that we have a good presence in Pearland. You know, having high-profile clients like the Pearland Council member. I've also personally helped the owner of Crowder Funeral Homes and having a 5-star rating on Google, A+ in the Better Business Bureau. So before roofing, I was in IT for the United States Coast Guard. Served the military for 7 years. After getting out of the Coast Guard, found myself in the business and eventually found myself into the roofing industry. The first company, it was, I was kind of nerve-wracking, anxiety, getting on roofs, dealing with huge ticket items, right? Like $19,000, $20,000, $30,000. It's very kind of like intimidating. But my first year I made 6 figures and I thought, I was like, man, I love this. So after being a part of the roofing industry for a few years, I noticed there was a huge lack of transparency, integrity, honesty within leadership roles with many different companies. And that's where I decided that things needed to change and I needed to take matters into my own hands. I think a lot of these companies, maybe, and it's very common, right? You make a lot of money. Hey, I could do this myself, right? I'm sure that's a very common thought when someone starts a company. And not having that leadership, not having that mentor, not having that guidance, you don't really understand how to deal with people and then ego gets in the way. And I think that, ultimately greed, ego, selfishness, I could make more, that kind of thought process is probably what leads these owners to do that, right? Like, oh, he's just a guy, he's not gonna care. Oh, it's just a couple $100. Oh, it's just a return. And we run into that a lot. Like the company before I started Integrity, they were never counting the returns. When I was in the US Coast Guard, I had one of my executive officers sat me down and I remember he said, look, for being at this unit, we want you to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And that's always stuck with me forever. And I've told many of the guys here, hey, look, do the right thing because it's the right thing to do.
So right now, as of this year, TDI and there's an insurance company called Texas Windstorm, and there's a lot of houses out here that can only have Texas Windstorm due to the risk of being in this area, right? So they came out with this new change to where you have to do double underlayment now. And for us, using the brand that we use, in order for the extended warranties to be in place, you have to use the manufacturer's underlayment. And it's not cheap. So now we're having to double the cost. What would normally take $600, we're now spending $1,200 for this underlayment.
Every homeowner that I work with personally, I let them know that I'm essentially like a free lawyer. I'm not there to waste their time. If I think we have a case, I'm gonna work the case and I'm gonna do everything I can to get them what they deserve.
A lot of people love being a part of Integrity Storm Experts for the value that our environment brings to their lives. We really focus primarily on our culture and being positive and having a great team environment where people can thrive and really set after their goals.
Actually, I've known David, the founder, for quite a few years. He's a fellow Coast Guard buddy of mine. We actually ended up getting to know each other way after the Coast Guard, and it turns out that we both got into the roofing industry. Super solid cat. The more I learned about him and the more I learned about his operation.
Yeah, so working here has actually been amazing, honestly. Everyone here, it's like family to me. And Yeah, I love it.
We have a lot of meaningful meetings. I've been to previous meetings where they were just kind of vague. I didn't get a lot of value out of them. And every time we have meetings here, I always leave with golden nuggets.
Yeah, at Integrity Storm Experts, we invest in our people. This industry is very convoluted. There's a lot of nuances to it. So having someone there to help guide you is a huge part of learning the industry. A lot of shortcuts that people can teach you along the way or just fall flat in your face. We don't want to do that. We want our team to learn from our mistakes, utilize that, move forward.
The best part of working with this company is the people that I work with here. Like David and these people, man, they welcome me in like I was one of their own. We have like a volunteer army type of like thing. Like we're like, you know, brothers in arms out here, and I don't know, they made me feel real welcome. Like I love it here. I really do.
I would say the team here are a lot of motivated individuals that have huge goals, both personally, financially. We sit down with every single sales rep and we ask them what their goals are yearly and how are we going to get to those goals, right? So, you know, I would say every single one of our sales reps as well are coachable and teachable. We're all about lifting each other up. We have a no drama policy. We're all about uplifting each other, doing things the right way, and yeah, everybody has everybody's back. And I love the culture that we have created here. It's almost like a family type of culture. A year and a half ago, we made it onto KPRC, which is Channel 2. Wasn't like anything insane, but it was a cool little commercial thing, right? We had somebody reach out to us from that channel. They said, "Hey, we saw your Facebook post. You guys I love what y'all are doing. I love the name."
So hold on. So they've seen the Facebook post and that's why they reached out?
Yes.
This is why you do social media. Everybody wants to be in the news, but nobody wants to be consistent on social media.
So I got into social media just to make videos, you know, just content, get some followers. Kevin with Integrity Storm Experts here. Hope y'all are having an amazing day. When I first started creating ads, I wasn't really getting a whole lot. I was getting more so roofers, but as soon as I started playing around with it, I ended up getting 20 leads per ad, playing around with the numbers and changing what I would say, and it's been working out fairly well.
My advice to a homeowner that is looking for the right contractor after a storm is actually getting an expert, right? There's a lot of roofers that don't even climb the roofs. They're using drones. They're not really looking out for the homeowner's best interests. You know, for us being storm experts, working directly with the insurance companies, you know, we're able to see a lot of things that normal roofing contractors can't see, right? And we document everything and we're very transparent. So I think that's something that a homeowner needs to look for is transparency, honesty, and you know, just the full picture. Because a lot of times they'll hear from a different contractor and they're not getting the full picture. So I'm working in this one neighborhood right now. It's a gated neighborhood in this community called Ashley's Point. It's kind of the elitist, I guess you could say. And every other install has been gun. And I've got about 8 or 9 houses now in that 60, it's like 60 houses. And I had a homeowner tell me, like, yeah, no, I paid attention. Like, I don't want gun on my house. He's like, and I was watching you. I saw that you guys were doing hand. He's like, and that's what I want, right? Because at the end of the day, if a homeowner cares about their house and they plan on living there, like, you're gonna want the best, right? Superior, right? You don't want issues later on down the line.
My advice to a homeowner looking to hire a contractor: do your research. Obviously, that's common sense. But you know, pay attention to how they communicate with you and what they're promising.
Every roof is different, and every roof comes with its own personality. Ask them what's actually going on with their roofing system. Ask them to talk about what separates their company from other companies, and more importantly, not just the company, but what separates themselves from all the other sales reps or roofing consultants out there.
Interview them. A lot of the times they don't really spend the time to figure out who it is they're buying from. I think that's really important to the relationship aspect of the business itself. I think the best way to do business is to lay all your cards out and say, hey, this is what I'm here to do. I'm here to help sell you a roof. That's how I'm gonna make my money.
Definitely get different bids and estimates, but that's all they're gonna be, right? You need somebody that's gonna be your consultant, that's actually gonna consult you on the job, rather than emailing you an estimate, emailing you a bid. Anybody can do that.
So the plan for the next few years is to get to that next level, obviously. Looking to expand the company, grow our sales force. Personally would like to double the sales force, have a really good training in place, maybe expand into other markets like San Antonio and Austin. At the end of the day, we're not in the roofing business or restoration business, we're in the people business. And, without the people, there is no business.